Hey yo, what's the word with your end of the week? The Chico Army recruits, but if you're new, you haven't earned your place, you're just a viewer of the tube. My name's Tyler, the host of the Crypto Channel, that's as mental as this mashup of actress Holly Earl and a special foe of hers.
It's going really well. It's really exciting because it's my first, it's my stage debut, so
yeah.
My first ever tech rehearsal, yeah.
Okay.
It's going really well.
Is it all a bit mad or is it quite calm?
It's a mixture.
Yeah.
It's calm when you're off, it's mad when you're on. But it's really fun, I'm having a blast.
It's a mixture. It's a deep fake. It's time for Chico Crypto. Well, I'm sure you felt it, you saw it, and you heard it. The sentiment in the crypto markets turned extremely bearish. Fear took over, with many people asking, is it time to sell? The Crypto Fear and Greed Index has sharply turned from last month extremely greedy to fear. The cocky bears were all saying down, CME gap, 8K, 6K, and some even saying 3K again is imminent, which could make sense when you look at the interest across a majority of the crypto search terms compared with 2017 interest. It's clear the general public is nowhere near as interested and is actually back at lows. Search term Bitcoin, search term crypto, search term cryptocurrency. The only sector of crypto that has peaked past 2017 interest recently is DeFi. Now, some people will ask themselves, does that mean newbies are diving straight into DeFi? Well, no, not at all. Investment in crypto markets generally goes like this. First, you learn about Bitcoin. It's where new blood begins their journey. The next general step is going down the line to smart contracts. People begin to learn about Ethereum. Finally, the last step is altcoins and DeFi. Generally, not many people skip this line process and go straight into DeFi or altcoins, but the time it takes to go through the process, it varies. Those who joined back in the day before Ethereum was created, hard to swallow the pill and dive down the Ethereum and DeFi rabbit hole. Newer people go through the process much easier as they don't have much holding them back. So, in 2017, we had a large influx of newbies, which inflated the supply of Bitcoin investors and faithfuls, those that joined the process. But Ethereum and altcoins were making massive gains, so many went through the learning steps very quickly. Since they moved quick, the supply of Ethereum investors in that pool, it grew, but not as big as Bitcoin. But it did take some away from the Bitcoin pool. Same goes for altcoins and DeFi, not as big as Ethereum or Bitcoin's pool of people, but it did take some from both. Now, when the bear market took over and the price collapsed, we can see the interest on Google Trends collapsed as well. Thus, you can think of it like this. The valve of newbies was shut off to the Bitcoin pool, thus the Ethereum pool and the DeFi pool, and all were actually shrinking as people who were burned, many of them, they left, which creates a new pool. We will call it the burn pool off to the side. Now remember, I said the time it takes for a person to go through this process varies. Thus, if the newbie valve is shut off and time goes on, eventually there is a gradual transfer of people through the process, shrinking Bitcoin while Ethereum grows larger, shrinking Ethereum while DeFi grows larger. But then with each little hype cycle and pump with Bitcoin in between 2019 to today, it has reopened the newbie valve slightly each time, as seen from the interest jumping around the same time as price increases. Each pool, they slightly grow. Although with each dump after these hype cycles, people get burned and more people are leaving than are coming in. Thus, the burn pool starts to grow faster than the others. But this burn pool is oh so important to the next run. They've gotten a taste of crypto, a bad taste, but a taste nonetheless. Many they bought at the tops, 20K, 14K, 12K. Some sold at a loss. Some are still holding, but have decided to forget about crypto. Now you see, once we get back to 12K, the newbie valve, it opens again. Plus another valve of investors ready to go full throttle and already through the process. The burn pool, it opens up a bit. And then once we get to 14K, the valve on both sides opens up more. And finally, if we get back to 20K, it gets turned on full blast from both. Now, remember how I showed DeFi is the only category on Google Trends since 2017 that has reached new all-time highs. That's because those that are left are moving quickly to the DeFi pool and through the process. Now, similar to 2017, when we reach those highs and the newbie valve opens, DeFi projects will see significant gains, like the 2017 ICOs. Thus, people will move through the process extremely quickly again because they want those gains. And the burned ones, they will jump right back into DeFi too. The DeFi bubble is going to be outstanding if Bitcoin runs. That is why we have been focusing on it so hard for so long, longer than any other popular crypto YouTube channel. But for Bitcoin to run again, it will need help from the outside. Pre-2017 peak, 2016, what got the markets bubbling? The Ethereum ERC20 contract. This is what pushed up the last run, as it let people create an altcoin with just a simple smart contract. And it was actually created in 2015. Vitalik proposed it in July of that year, calling for standardized contract APIs, and Fabian Vogelsteller took the call and created the code. Then he and Vitalik published and authored the standard in November of 2015. ICOs, they were ready to go, and they did go. As we can see in 2016, nothing in the beginning, but then the number of them grew each month to a total of 64 major ones in 2016, and a total of $103 million raised, a massive number for back then. Now let's go to DeFi Pulse, which tracks a number of major DeFi protocols. I wonder how many are listed, the low 40s. Does that number seem similar to the 2016 and the ICO market? I wonder how much is locked up with those DeFi protocols. Nearly 10 billion. Seems like a massive number today. Right now, my feelings are that we are in 2016, the beginning. Smart contracts are being polished, which means DeFi, new token standards, NFTs are being primed and deployed for when the shack goes parabolic. Just like the ERC20 token, an ICO process throughout 2016 was getting tinkered, toyed with, and ready to go. Although there's another thing which will have an effect, which just like once the party began in 2017, was the talk of the town, and possibly contributed to the downfall then. That is scaling and transaction fees. Bitcoin fees in 2017, they rose throughout the year as more and more newbies flooded in and they got to unsustainable levels. Who wants to pay over $50 for a transaction? Ethereum, it bubbled too, not nearly as high. It had a $4 and $5.50 average peaks. But as we can see, unlike Bitcoin, Ethereum fees have already surpassed the 2018 peak levels, and by a lot. And solving this is already the talk of the town. And Ethereum 2.0 news, which will trickle throughout the next year or so, is only going to keep the market